Hello everyone. So I'm using this ChatGPT and Gemini from last I'm using ChatGPT from 3 years and Gemini from last 1 year. So I have a pretty good experience with all of these models, both of these models. So in today's video we'll discuss the basically we'll give some prompts to both of them and let's analyze that what model is officially dead and what's not. Okay, so on first, we'll ask for its identity, like who are you? Okay, here are sent. I'm ChatGPT, an AI assistant by OpenAI. I can help you with you. This is and here's Gemini gives you it gives you very concise answers. I'm Gemini, a large language model built by Google. Okay, so let's test it further. Okay, can you imagine things? So simultaneously, I'm putting both of these texts, both of my questions in these texts. So it's kind of no imaginations require consciousness, subjective experience, and neural pathways. Okay, so Gemini is like being very concise in its language model and giving us all the information, whereas you can see the chat gpt, yes, in sense I can imagine things by generating description, ideas, scenarios, stories. Okay, Gemini says I can't imagine. It says imagination needs consciousness, it needs subjective experience, whereas chat gpt says it it can imagine, but it says it can imagine scenarios, stories, designs. Okay, but it also says that it don't have any of the life experiences. Okay, so like ChatGPT is again explaining. I'm explaining you like what's my experience with the ChatGPT. It's kind of like a dual model. It'll agree with you, and also after agreeing with you, again it will disagree with the another thing. So it's a different thing. So we are back. So let's ask it some little bit tough questions. Okay, so why do we use bot mass, not other things, to multiply, divide at the same time? I'm asking it like mathematics questions, really fundamental question, like why do we use bot mass? So Gemini gave us like a good amount of things, whereas ChatGPT, okay, you can see here, good question. We don't use bone mass because it's the only possible only rule. We use it because mathematics need one agreed communication, so everyone gets the same answer. What she says, Gemini, we use board mass because mathematical operations are not naturally commutative and associative across the different types. Okay, so like in mathematics, you can say the chat GPT always wins, whereas in normal neutral talking, the Gemini would always win. Okay, now let's generate an image. Generate an image of a happy dog and a owner sitting on a table in a garden. I'm not elaborating it. I hope so these both models understand it really, really well. Let's see. So both of the models have generated the images. You can see it here, this and this. This is a Gemini one. So you can see that in Gemini, what I have imagined, what I told her, she basically made this. And in ChatGPT also it made that, but we have little bit differences. So differences are like that, of the table, basically a table, because I imagined this type of table, and you can see that when I was typing this thing, happy owner sitting on table in garden, I was literally thinking about this table, not this table. So like it's like so much a different thing that Google can understand us so well that it knows what type of tables I like. Like it's I'm so mesmerized by this thing, and this image looks like a little bit like it's shot from a good camera, but whereas this image looks like a little bit type that AI type shit, because both are AI shit, but you can understand properly. Basically, in image generation, you can't beat Gemini. You can never beat Gemini. Okay, so I can generate a thumbnail for YouTube video comparing ChatGPT with Gemini. Okay, let's see what they both generates. See, you can literally see that in Gemini, it made really cheap thumbnail, and it wrote the ultimate test 2024 update. Like Gemini is stuck in 2024. She doesn't know that now it's 2026, 2 years later. Okay, but whereas ChatGPT, it made like literally very good thumbnail, very good. Like I'll surely put in my video this thumbnail. So you can see that in mathematics you can't beat one of these AIs, but in image generation I can see that both of them are good in their respective times. Maybe it's because of seed or maybe because of some other function, but yes, basically my verdict is that for images you can use Gemini, but not for like this AI type images. For like literally good thumbnails you can use Gemini. If you give it a really good prompt, it will generate really good images and faster images, whereas ChatGPT is very slow in generating images. So you can go with this. If you want to study, go with Gemini, because you can talk with this, so obviously you can study better. But ChatGPT can also talk, but it has little bit problems with it. And for normal communication, you can use Gemini because it has large database. It's developed by Google, so obviously Google is it has really large database, so they can't mess it up.